Has it changed
That's
a
just
lot?
pre-seasons, but I've been on lots of other trips as well. So.
Has it changed a lot? Like probably from when you were a player, like the scale of it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, I came out to South Korea in 2005. We had a Korean player, young goalie, at the time, and yeah, the change compared to now, obviously because of Sonny and the impact he's had, but yeah, it's like night and day the difference. When we come out, we kind of come out, and it was very quiet. Not too many people recognised us or knew us.
Even him, was he not like a
I mean, they knew him, but I think there's always a big difference between when you're an attacking player and a defender. I think Sonny's popularity is on a different level.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Has it changed you? Like all these experiences you've had?
I wouldn't say it's changed me. What it has done though is, when I'm able to come away from England, it's just the club has just grown and grown. So anytime we travel, not just across Asia but anywhere across the world, we're just recognised a lot more than we used to be. So that has taken some getting used to, I suppose. Not being able to just walk around the mall quietly with no one noticing you anymore. But no, it's a great thing.
And obviously, back on the actual football, you've seen like a year of Ange now, and some of the players have been telling us even like the training sessions feel different this time around. Do you feel like there's almost you've built this platform and now this is almost like a Postecoglou 2.0 Tottenham we're going to see this season, like a different version?
Yeah, well, I think in some ways we probably overachieved a little bit last season. We wasn't sure, obviously the new manager coming in, how long it would take for him to get his style across to the team, and we obviously hit the ground running with that. So yeah, then the next step is, I suppose, building on what we had last season, trying to maintain that consistency throughout the season. But we have some new players that come in. We have a young squad, and for the manager, I think his main goal will be just kind of developing the young players that we have, not just physically and in terms of the system that he wants to play, but also mentally getting them in the right mind frame to become winners. To have that winning mentality, which is important moving forward.
How do you, if you're one of those young players, what's the key to dealing with, say for instance Lucas Bergvall comes from domestic Swedish football straight into a tour like this? What do you need emotionally to cope with that and still to kind of continue to get better as a player?
I think it's important to have a good group, which we do have. We have a good, and we have many young players, so I think that will help. It's very difficult when you come in and you're a young player and there's not many other young faces in the squad. I think the fact that we have so many other young players will definitely help him straight away. But yeah, it's never easy when you're coming from a different country as a young player to adapt to a different style of football, to a different style of life. But I think it's always good when you come on tour. I think it helps you to settle. Right? I think it's a time where you get to know your teammates a lot quicker than you would if you join, say, in the middle of the season where it's just training and then you're home. You get to spend almost the whole day with your team, and I think that helps you bond quicker. And I think when you go back to London, we'll see the benefits of being on tour and spending kind of 2 weeks away with each other, especially for the new players.
Have you had a chance to speak to many of the new guys, Archie and Lucas?
Just in passing, we've not sat down and had the real opportunity, but I've said, I'd like to go into the training centre throughout the season and just to speak to some of the youngsters, especially defenders, people like Ashley Phillips.
Do you like him as a player?
Yeah, I do like him. I think he's got a lot of qualities, and I spoke to him the other day and said, we'll definitely sit down and speak about your game and how we can progress it. It's something that I definitely enjoy, especially with centre-backs.
Any traits of you in him?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be some traits. He's tall, he's quick, he's good on the ball. So yeah, there's definitely some good traits. But when you're young, it's always good when you just have a wiser head that can just kind of give you a few pointers. Things just to make your game a little bit easier, because when you're young, you play the game I suppose the hard way in a way. You you don't know all the tricks. I think the earlier you know a few tricks and positional wise, put yourself in the right positions, it really makes your game a lot easier. So we'll sit down, we'll go through his game and see how we can improve it.
With Archie Gray, there seems this real kind of sense like a bit of a wow. Like people have seen him, maybe shocked at how kind of ready he might be now. Do you feel that he can make an impact probably quicker than people expect?
I think he's played in the Championship, which is a tough league, and when you've had a good solid season, played many games in the Championship, you are kind of battle ready. We can see that he's a mature young player. And yeah, he's one that we've got high hopes of. He's one that can play multiple positions as well, which is always important. But I think he's a fantastic addition to the club.
It's a really strange question, but I've never been to Seoul before, and I've never been to Seoul when Son Heung-min is here. It surprised me a little bit how well he copes with what he describes as the love and the affection, which is clear, but can you relate to what that must be like for him? Because even in London, you
not really. I can't. How he deals with it, it's amazing.
So really graceful.
Yeah. It's we obviously came out 2 years ago and had our first kind of real look of what it's like for Sonny in his home country. But yeah, I think like anything, you kind of get used to it a little bit, and I can't imagine it. The way I can liken it is to, I suppose, when we played for England and we kind of had Beckham. Probably the closest similarity I could probably.
Was that weird to be around, because that would have presumably been right at the apex of his popularity?
Yeah, I suppose again you get used to it. At first it's a bit of a shock, but as kind of England players, as the England squad, you quickly get used to it. And I'm sure his teammates, whether it was Madrid or Man United, they would have kind of got used to it along the way. But the main thing is that the player himself is a team player, and it's not necessarily their kind of fault that all the attention they get. It's just part of it. But as long as they're kind of part of the team, that's all the teammates matter.
Let me ask you about yourself first.
Yeah.
In the last, the League Cup, when Spurs win the League Cup in 2008, you were the captain of the club, right? And then I think it was one of the most proudest moment in your career, maybe, and also for the Spurs fans as well. Can you tell us about how was that moment? And actually at the time you also had a Korean teammate at the time, Young Pyo Lee.
He was in the squad. So, it was a great moment. I think I look back and the first time I played in the final was in 2002, and we lost that final. So this was the next opportunity, 2008, and I was determined to make sure that we won this one, because there might not be another chance. So at this time, I'm an experienced player now. I'm captain of the team, and we had a squad that was hungry, and it was the right age to go in and win something. And we had a tremendous semi-final. See, beating Arsenal 5-1, and even the way we come through that semi-final, we had to make sure that we finished it off as well, and actually won the final. It's my proudest moment to be able to lift the trophy for the club. For sure, was special.
You were the captain of the Tottenham, and also obviously you are the best, most loved Tottenham player ever, maybe, I think. And then now Son is also a captain of the club.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about how do you think about Son as a captain? Yeah.
I think it makes sense. First and foremost, he's loved by the fans. He's loved by his teammates. He's respected in the game. I've had the opportunity to kind of work with Sonny on the training pitch as well, and see how he works. And he's someone that every single day, every single minute, he's giving his best that he can. He's determined, and he has a streak in him that he doesn't like to lose. Which is important to have. You know, if he doesn't win on the training pitch, he comes off the pitch upset. You know, and I just think he's grown into that natural kind of leader in the team. So yeah, I think he's been a great captain so far. I'm sure he's still learning along the way, but yeah, I absolutely think he was the right man to lead the team.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, no, you can go.
What kind of captain were you like? Like I know what you were like on the field, but like you captained side at a time when things were a little tricky in terms of performance and the squad balance. What were you like in the dressing room, the training ground? And I can't imagine you as a shouter. Maybe a bit of a shouter.
I think you know what. I think the best thing to say is that my teammates kind of, you know, they could look into my eyes and they knew that, you know, that I was there and I was ready to give everything for them and battle for them, and you know, I didn't need to scream and shout about that. You know, I tried to uplift my teammates, try to get the best out of them, try to motivate them. You know, there's always a time for a scream and shout, of course there is, but you know, it's not my preferred method in any way. So it became difficult for me when I wasn't on the training pitch, that's for sure. You know, it became a lot harder to.
Did you watch sessions during that period?
Well, sometimes I was doing my own kind of work as well, so that was a difficult period to try to lead the team, and then it became about having a big influence on the pitch when I was out on the pitch, just making my teammates better. So yeah, I kind of went through different phases of when I should have been kind of going into my prime. Yeah. There's a time when I'm, I suppose, on the decline, and then not being able to be on the training pitch with my teammates. So it made it a difficult dynamic. So yeah, you know, it was a strange experience. But as I say, my main focus was then being on the pitch and having an impact on my teammates when I was on the pitch.
Just wanted to ask you about the current squad again. Alan Hansen once said incorrectly that you can't win anything with kids. Yeah. Obviously, as you said, this is a very, very young group, and wants to compete for the title. He's already said that this season. Can he do that with this group, or does he need a few more kind of senior additions?
I think the main thing is to kind of put in the building blocks. You know, anyone can win a trophy, but I think the most important thing is that you're building towards something and going in the right direction. You're trying to build something that's sustainable. That, you know, even when I think back to when we won the trophy in 2008. You know, the next season the manager was sacked, and I think it's important that we build something. We have a young group, as we say, and I think that we want to build them in the right way, that we can compete on all levels moving forward for the future, rather than just a flash in the pan trophy. So I think that's the most important thing for us, and I think if we do that, then it gives us the best chance to compete and to win multiple trophies moving forward, which is what we want to do. So yeah, I think with that does take some time and a bit of patience. Of course, no one wants to hear that in football, but I think for this season, I think it's just progressing again, trying to progress again. Like you say, Ange 2.0 in terms of, you know, we've had a season now of seeing what we want to do, and let's see if we can kind of move that forward to the next level.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.